Okay, we are jumping right into this meal prep just like we did last week. Here's my list, a lot more than last week. We'll see if I can get it all done in one day. I am starting earlier. It's just around 10 a.m. So we shall see how much of this I can get done today. If you hear the laundry going in the background, it's just one of those days. I'm trying to multitask. So we've got laundry going, but here's my list. I'm going to start with the hard-boiled eggs, but first I wanted to share, don't look too close at my kitchen. It's really dirty. I need to clean that. Maybe that'll be on my agenda for tomorrow, but I've got the cheeseburger soup. It's Nicole's recipe. I will try to remember to link it in the description box, but Mark and I are going to be having this the next 2 nights. So kind of a meal prep. We're having it tonight. I would have had to cook it anyway, but we're gonna have it tomorrow as well. And he did most of the chopping. So awesome. I didn't have to do all that chopping. So we've got that going, but now back to the eggs. Just like last week, I'm making a few hard-boiled eggs for the kids, but I'm also going to be prepping some egg salad for Mark and I as a lunch this week for 2 days. So I need to get some eggs in here and hard-boiled so I can get that made. Okay, I've got my eggs in here. I'm actually doing 13 this week because that's how many I had in my egg container. So Mark's actually filling it back up. That way the kids know that we have eggs. Same exact method that I always use. I've got a little over a cup of water in my pot. The eggs are sitting on a trivet, not directly on the bottom of the pot. Getting my lid on, making sure it is sealing, not venting, and then I am going to cook it. Oh, eggs must have been the last thing I cooked because that's really the only thing that I used number 4 for. So we're gonna cook it on high pressure for 4 minutes, and then we are going to, once that 4 minutes is up, I'm going to do a natural release for 4 minutes where I'm not gonna touch it, and then we'll release the rest of the pressure and get them in the ice bath for another 4 minutes. So 4, 4, 4. Okay, eggs are done. I am going to be making 4 batches of egg salad here in a second, so I'll share with you guys that. But first up, I swapped the laundry, so it's like super loud right now. Mark peeled and chopped some potatoes for me, and we are going to turn these into some french fries for our In-N-Out bowls as our second lunch option for this week. So I've got my air fryer here. I'm gonna go ahead and season these up. We've got to pick what seasoning we want. So let's do that real quick. Hold up. Okay, we decided to go with Trader Joe's 21 seasoning salute. So I just kind of poured a bunch in here. I'm gonna mix these up so they get completely covered, and we would have left the peel on, but our potatoes they're not fresh. So I was like, oh, let's go ahead and peel them. So Mark peeled, chopped these up. All right, let's turn these into some french fries for our lunch. Air fryer is ready. So Nicole has hers going, I'm following Nicole's recipes, and I'll have them linked down below, but she has her air fryer goes up to 430. She said for 20 minutes. Mine, the highest it goes is 400. Oh, you guys can't even see that. It only goes to 400. So I put 22 minutes, but it does have me check on them halfway through. It'll beep, tell me to check on them, turn them, all the things. I just give it a little shake. So we'll see how it's looking halfway through and how, if I need to like add time or if that 22 minutes is gonna be good. I wanna make sure they're nice and crispy. Okay, back to the egg salad. And I really hope all this, you know, I'm gonna close my laundry room door. Hold up another minute. Like I said, we are multitasking today, okay? Sometimes that's how it is to set yourself up for success. All right, and I can't do anything about the air fryer though. That's just gonna be going on in the background. So I am adding in some yogurt, plain Greek yogurt. I got the Fage, is that how you say that? Oh, I don't know, but the 0%. And then I'm also going to be adding in some relish and some monk fruit sweetener. And what we're gonna be having this with, well, you guys will see, I'm gonna chop up some strawberries. We're gonna have strawberries on the side and a bag of Quest chips. That's kind of our lunch for 2 days this week. And then the In-N-Out bowl, we'll get back to that. But this is how I meal prep, so I bring you guys along with me, not just showing you one recipe at a time, but how it's done. If you wanna like make the most of the time you've got, you gotta multitask, right? So let's keep going. Still working on the egg salads. I've got 2 done, but I wanted to share our little potato. So it just beeped at me to take it out and like give it a little shake. It has 8 minutes left. I thought it was like halfway through and it wasn't. Also, Rose is making herself a little BLT, so she's heating up some bacon right now. But this looks good to us. I don't want to cook it any longer. I think Nicole definitely cuts hers up a little bigger. I just told Mark to cut them up into little pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and let these cool a little bit, and we'll finish work on the In-N-Out bowls next. But I'm gonna have the kids try these, because if they like these, we'll probably make some more for them, not as a meal prep, but for them to have on the side of our cheeseburger soup tonight for dinner. And one or two of the kids are not gonna eat that cheeseburger soup, so I'm doing hot dogs for them, but I think they might like to have some homemade fries. So I might have Mark cut up some more, and we'll do another batch for them. Okay, egg salad is prepped. We're actually having it for lunch today. So I've got this prepped. I'm gonna put these in the fridge, and then Rose actually grabbed a hard-boiled egg to have with her BLT for lunch today. So we've got 4 left that I'm gonna get in the fridge, and then the other 2 I'm gonna leave out because I'm gonna do the strawberries next. That way I can put the strawberries in here, and then those will be ready for the fridge, and those will be a great, just quick and easy lunch option for this week. Wanted to share that for the In-N-Out bowls, Mark's pretty much making the In-N-Out bowls. We are tag teaming it today. So he is caramelizing some onions on the stovetop here, and then I am going to, I'm gonna make something with bananas, obviously. I'm gonna go ahead and get these strawberries prepped. So I'm going to rinse them, and then we're gonna slice them, and I think I need 30 grams. Is that right? Do you remember? 30 grams?
I think so.
I think so. So 30 grams of strawberries in our 2 egg salad containers here for lunch, and then the rest is just like for the kids to snack on. Okay, rinse the strawberries, and I'm gonna do the ones for our lunches first. And we get 30 grams, so I've got my scale set here, and 30 grams is not a whole lot of strawberries. That's 27 right there. So we'll see if I need to half one of these. That's 34, yeah, so let's half it. 29, close enough. Lunches are done for tomorrow. What I've been doing, what I did last week, and I liked it, and we're doing the same this week, is we picked 3 recipes for this week, well, and last week. We're picking 3 recipes, 3 breakfasts, lunch, and dinners, and we're having them 2 days in a row. So that gets us through Sunday. We start on Monday, get through on Sunday, or Saturday, and then Sunday, if we have leftovers, we kind of meal piece our day on Sunday and kind of get through like that, and then start the new week. So that's what we've been doing. Sorry, we got these 2 lunches done, and like I mentioned, we are having a bag of Quest chips also, but that's not something I have to prep. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up these strawberries, and that way the kids can just grab them out of the fridge whenever they want, and they can, oh, I won't need that, and they can snack on them. And meanwhile, I'm still not finished with the strawberries yet, but onions are done, and Mark is now cooking the ground beef for our In-N-Out bowls, and it's 20 ounces? 20 ounces, and what did you use to season it?
I used Kinder's The Blend.
Oh yeah, we definitely realized that we're liking these for seasoning our meat, and that's definitely gonna be something, if you guys watch my grocery hauls, that's gonna be something you guys see. We're gonna pick up a few more flavor combos to try out. Strawberries, done. Okay, last thing for the produce is just something easy. We did not finish the blueberries or blackberries from last week, so I just went ahead and re-rinsed them. I'm gonna mix them together in a container, and that way I can just pull the container out at meal times and the kids can snack on them. And then the raspberries we just bought this week. So I rinsed those off, and again, I'm just gonna put them in a container so they are ready to go. But this is like the easiest meal prep ever. Is just, or food prep, not really meal prep, but food prep. Oh, I think some of these blackberries, this one looks a little, yeah, that one's super soft. But I'm actually surprised we have blackberries left, because normally when I buy them, Rose takes the whole container and just eats it. So I'll make sure that these get eaten first this week. I'm going through them a couple at a time instead of just dumping them in here. Just want to make sure that there's no like bad ones hiding at the bottom. That happens sometimes. Okay, happy to report no bad raspberries in this package that I just bought, so awesome. All right, that's it as far as fruit is concerned this week. Okay, so I already showed you guys, like, Mark cooked all of these ingredients separately, and now you better get off my counter. I know, it smells so good. That's Oliver. So now I've just got them prepped. We do have a few more things we've got to do, but we've got our In-N-Out bowls prepped. I just decided I'm gonna order some more of these like separated containers because I definitely don't have enough for making as many as we are, but I don't mind just mixing it all together and having like one whole thing, you know? So for Mark, I've got his two. The onions are on the bottom. We weighed out the onions first, so they're on the bottom of each of these, and he's got his ground beef. We've got his french fries right here, and that way he can heat that up. And then we do have two more things that we're gonna be doing that'll just go in right here, and he'll take those out because they are gonna stay cold. So we've got that, and then like I said, mine is just all mixed together in one bowl because I don't mind. So at least we've got this portion of the In-N-Out bowls ready. Let's finish these up because it is about 12:15, and after we're done with this, we're gonna break and have our lunch, and then we do still have quite the list to do. Okay, one thing that is already done, Mark did these while I was finishing up those berries, but we've got our allotted grams. I wanna say it was 30, I don't remember because Mark weighed these out, but we've got our pickles here that we don't wanna heat it up. So he just put them in little snack baggies, and I'm gonna stick it in here for him. So he's got his two, and then mine are already pre-portioned for me for lunches, but I'll just pull them out. I don't need to like put them, actually I could put them in the bowl, and that way they're all together. Yeah, it's not gonna hurt anything. I'll just take it out before I heat it up. So I'm gonna get my pickles in the baggie in here as well. All right, I'll get his lid on, and now we're going to whip up a sauce that I'll just put into little containers, and we can add it to the top of everything once we heat it up. And his little container will just be separate. I don't know if I'll be able to fit it in this or not for him to just have this one container for lunch or for work. So, all right, at least those four are done. Okay, last but not least is the sauce for these In-N-Out bowls. And I'm going to be measuring out some ketchup, mustard, mayo, and then sprinkling in a little bit of Cajun seasoning. Okay, kitchen is definitely a hot mess, but our lunches are done. Well, this lunch is done. I got one more lunch I'm gonna make for us for this week, but the In-N-Out bowls are done. So I've got my two here, everything mixed together, and then I did a double of sauce in here, and I'll just half it for each day, and then I've got Mark's ready for him to get into his lunchbox for work when he takes these in. Okay, we have eaten lunch, and it is time to get back to meal prepping. It's about 1:30, just for a time check. But I am prepping 4 different chicken and pickle bowls. So again, I'll have all of these recipes linked in the description box. I am taking the easy route out because I have so many things I want to meal prep that I already had this in my freezer. So I was like, we're gonna use this instead of cooking up some chicken and seasoning it. This is already grilled and ready, fully cooked, oven roasted, diced chicken breast. So I just divided it between the 4 bowls here. And now I'm going to add in some of this G. Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce. Oliver's like, chicken, what? Okay, I've got the correct amount of barbecue sauce added to all of our chicken bowls. Now I'm going in with some honey mustard. Honey mustard is added, and I should mix the sauce on its own, but I honestly don't want to dirty another dish. So I'm just gonna, it'll be fine. I'm gonna mix it all together in this bowl. All right, next up I'm going in with some hamburger dill chips. I don't know, I wasn't paying attention when I made my grocery list on how many pickles we had left, so I don't know if we're gonna have enough, but I do have these pickles that I will just like slice up and add to the bowl if we need them. Okay, not the prettiest looking meal, but this is the last of the lunches that I am prepping, so we are set for the rest of the week, like I already mentioned, other than Sunday though. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the lids on all of these. We'll just have to reheat these day of or when we're ready to eat, and just give it another good mix, and that'll be a nice, quick, easy lunch. Next up, last thing I'm going to be prepping for Mark and I is a biscuits and gravy casserole. Oh, and I do not like this spray. I think I got this from Temu. I don't like it. So I'll probably go back to buying the canned stuff once I use all this. But anyway, I've got my oven preheating to 350, my 9x13 pan, just sprayed that. I just swapped over to the other side of this counter. I have some refrigerated biscuits here. I've got 5, and I'm going to cut them up into 6 pieces. So I just cut it in half and then thirds. I'm gonna do that to each one. Back over here to my pan. I really need to clean my kitchen. I am running out of counter space. I'm gonna have to do a cleanup after this one. The kids have friends over, so it might get a little loud. But anyway, after I'm done with this recipe, we're gonna be doing some kid ones for them for this week. So I'm just sprinkling my biscuits randomly, trying to cover the bottom of the pan the best I can. Next up, if you guys watched my meal prep last week, I cooked a huge amount of ground turkey. I think it was 2.5 pounds, and we had just about enough left. There's a little bit left over. We're gonna get that in the freezer. But we had just enough left for this recipe. So instead of buying breakfast sausage, like turkey breakfast sausage, we're just gonna use the ground turkey. Just, you know, saves us a little money. We already have it. It's not gonna go bad, anything like that. So I went ahead and added the turkey in here. Next up, I'm just sprinkling in a little bit of shredded cheese. Okay, I've got to measure out my egg whites. So I'm gonna get them into a bowl, adding in a little skim milk and a total of 4 eggs. Okay, we're gonna season with a little salt and a little pepper, probably a little more pepper. And then just using a fork, I'm using a big serving fork, but I'm just gonna whisk this together. I'm just gonna take my egg mixture and pour it in my casserole dish. Okay, my oven is ready. I'm going to cover it with foil and bake it for 45 minutes. Meanwhile, while that bakes, I'm going to go ahead and make one, not serving, but whatever it says here on the back. I'm gonna make 2 cups. So I make 2 cups of this gravy. If you're making this, it's 1 packet. It's equal to 1 packet if you have it in the packet, but Bryce was going through a phase where he loved this stuff with like everything. So I bought a big container. So it's just the country gravy mix, and I'm just gonna follow the instructions. So I'm going to bring some water up to a boil, and then I'm gonna blend some of this mix into some cold water and just mix it all together and stir it while it's getting hot until it's nice and thick. And that way we've got our gravy to pour on top of our like biscuit and egg mix. Gravy is done. I'm gonna let it cool off a little bit, and then I'm just gonna pour it in this. This holds about 2 cups. And the mornings that we have the breakfast casserole, we can just each use or pour it into, we can just each use about half a cup. That'll get us 4 servings of the gravy, which is what that breakfast casserole makes. I'll be able to cut that into 4. Gravy's cooled enough, got it in here. Just gonna put this in the fridge. That way it is ready for the mornings that we need it. Still waiting on the biscuits or biscuit egg bake to finish up. Got some laundry folded and loads moved around, swapped over, started some new laundry, and now ready to start on some of the items that I want to prep for the kids. So last week I made banana muffins. Those are gone. Like, the kids just eat them up. So this week I wanted to try something different with the bananas. I still have a few left that I pulled out earlier from the freezer, so they're nice and soft and nasty looking, but they're still gonna taste great. So I will have this recipe. I found it online. I've had it saved for a while now. So I'm gonna start, I have my oven preheating at 350. I'm going to add 2 cups of old-fashioned oats into my bowl here. And these are just, what are they called? Baked banana bars, I think, or oatmeal banana bars, something like that. So again, 2 cups of the oatmeal. All right, I put all 5 of the bananas that I had in the freezer in here because it does say 1 1/3 cup, and that looks about right. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more, but we're gonna go with that. All right, I know you can't tell, but I just added in 9 tablespoons of water, half a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna add in 3 tablespoons of honey and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, and then I'm just gonna mix all of this together. I've got my 8x8 pan here. I did grease it, and I'm just gonna dump the contents of my bowl in here, spread it out. And this is totally optional. You could do nuts if you wanted, craisins, but my kids like chocolate chips. So you could do a mixture. So we're gonna sprinkle heavily the top with some chocolate chips. And that is my oven. Just beep telling me it's ready, and my timer going off for our biscuit and egg casserole. So I'm gonna get this into the oven and bake it for 20 minutes. Got the biscuit egg bake out. Smells really good. You guys, this is gonna be a very filling breakfast because like I said, this is 4 servings. So we're gonna cut this into 4 pieces. I've already got the gravy made in the fridge, so we'll just like take some of that out. Like I already mentioned, half a cup at a time, heat it up, and we'll get to drizzle that over the top. And this is our breakfast for 2 days between Mark and I this week. But it smells really good, and the biscuits are completely done. They're not like soft or anything, they're all done. So I'm excited to dig into this one morning. All right, this was not originally on my list, but Bryce reminded me that I told him I would make him some more of the turkey roll-ups that I made in last week, if you guys watched that meal prep. So I'm doing the same exact thing, and when I mentioned I was gonna make the turkey ones, or when Bryce mentioned that, Rose asked if I could make some sweet ones, which is Nutella. So that's what I'm getting together now. I've got my crescent rolls, and I just, if you didn't watch that meal prep, I just bake it according to the crescent roll package. So my oven is preheating 375, and I'm going to get these rolled up and bake them for 12 minutes. I do have another 4, so there's 8 in a package. So I'm gonna get the other 4 out here. I just do 4 at a time because it's easy on my pan for me to spread them out. And all I do, you guys see here, I just cover it with Nutella, roll them up, bake them, and the kids gobble them up. So I'm gonna get these sweet ones done or in the oven, and then I'm going to get the turkey and cheese ones done as well. These have been out for a little bit, but it was time to feed the dogs. It is officially 4 o'clock. So they just are, not just the dogs, but the cats. So all the animals have been fed their dinner. So here's the oatmeal banana bars. I already cut them up. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I already cut them up, and I opted to cut them up in little pieces just in case the kids just like 1 and 1 or 2 at a time instead of bigger bars. Then we've got the Nutella crescent rolls here, and the turkey and cheese crescent rolls, and the kids have already spotted these and they're like, are those up for grabs? So I'm sure they're gonna eat a few before dinner, but that's fine. I made them for them to snack on. So those 3 items I can check off my list. 2 things left on my list: pizza pancakes and corn dog muffins. So I'm gonna do the muffins next. I've got my mini muffin pan here. These silicone liners are lifesavers. I just can never get a muffin out perfectly by not using these liners. So I've got those in there. The oven is the same temp that I needed it for the crescent roll, so it's already preheated for me at 375. Mark actually diced up all the hot dogs for me, so I've got that going on. And then here's the other ingredients. I will link this recipe, it's one I found online, but I'll tell you guys as I'm mixing everything together the exact measurements and all of that. To my mixing bowl, I'm adding in half a cup of sugar and 1 stick or half a cup of melted butter, and I'm gonna whisk these 2 ingredients together. I added in 2 eggs, and I'm gonna mix these in. Now I'm adding in 1 cup of buttermilk, and I'm gonna mix this in. Okay, I have a new bowl here. My wet mixture is just pushed off to the side, and I'm gonna put some of my dry ingredients in here. So I'm going in with half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of flour, and 1 cup of cornmeal. I'm just gonna stir all these together. Okay, I'm gonna add my dry mixture to my wet in 2 batches. So I'm gonna go in with about half of it. I'm gonna mix this up, and then I'll add the other half and do the same. Got my pan, and I am putting in 1 tablespoon of the cornbread mixture into each muffin cup. I had to get another muffin pan out, and I got a total of 42. So we're gonna take our hot dog slices and just stick it in the middle there on each one. And again, my oven is preheated to 375, and I'm going to, oh, that's a long one. I'm gonna bake these for 12 minutes. I just pulled the mini corn dogs out of the oven. I do have the, there it is right there, pizza pancakes. left, but you guys, you gotta listen to your body. I am tired, my back's starting to hurt, and I'm done. So I did pretty good, especially with Mark's help. We were able to knock a lot of these off, and I also added the 2 different varieties of crescent rolls. So I am going to say that is a win for meal prep this week. I am going to make those pizza pancakes sometime this week, but I'll probably make them the day that the kids want to eat them. So instead of as a prep, we'll definitely have some left over going forward, but I'll just make that recipe when the kids have it, whether it's a lunch or a dinner. And maybe, you know, depending on what's going on, I'll share it either on Instagram. I also thought about picking a day to vlog this week, so that would be an upcoming video. You guys really seem to like the last time I vlogged. So anyway, with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this meal prep. Give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.